Hey guys, I'm Mal today. This is the video for the only Sunday game of round 4 for Super Rugby Trans-Tasman between the Rebels and Chiefs. Of course, this game had to be moved from Hamilton, where it was originally meant to be played, but of course, due to the travel restrictions, the Chiefs have had to stay within Australia, and the game's now be playing within Sydney. So, for that case, the Rebels do have home advantage, which is a good thing for them, because they'll definitely need it. But more or less, yeah, it should be another interesting game to watch. Of course, here are the lineups for both teams. I'll run them by you guys, and yeah, I'll tell you what I think about them, and yeah, I'll give my prediction afterwards. So with the Rebels, of course, they have stuck with the same front row as last week when they lost their game against the Honduras. I thought they were actually pretty good, to be fair to them, that front row with Orr, UAC, as well as Elof. I mean, I thought they were pretty good. They won a few scrum penalties, which is kind of an unusual thing to see, because within the first 2 rounds, they just did not win any. So they at least have improved on within that front. So hopefully they can kind of continue that. I mean, within the lock pairing, they have gone with the likes of Lotia as well as Hosea. So it'll be interesting to see how those two work together. I mean, Hosea, I've been pretty impressed by. I'd say as probably their best lock, I'd say, throughout the competition. So hopefully he can just continue this form really and kind of just get more line-out stills, because he has done pretty well within that area. With that loose forward trio, of course, they have made some switches in there with the likes of Michael Wells going back into the 6th spot, with Richard Harbour coming in at 7, and of course Nazarani sticking at 8. So yeah, pretty good, I'd say, loose forward trio there, and should do a lot of, well, it'll be a good battle, you could say, between the loose forwards from both teams. But yeah, moving on to the backs, of course, for the Rebels, you do the likes of Joe Powell as well as Carter Gordon making it that 9-10 combination, so it should be interesting to see how those two play together. Within last week's game, I felt they did pretty well. They got, I think like 27 points on the board, and I thought those two were pretty crucial within the opening minutes. So yeah, I think we'll see how those two can work again. But yeah, with the centre combination, obviously you do have the likes of Matsumo, who makes up that 12th spot. Of course, he was the captain, of course, for the Rebels, and you have his partner in crime, Stacey Lee. So it should be interesting to see how he does, because obviously he is replacing Campbell McNay from the side, which he's played probably all the games, I believe, so far. So it's good to see that he's actually been replaced. But more or less, yeah, it'll be good to see how that combination works. But for the wingers, they have gone with the likes of Murka Corbetti, of course, the number 11, who finally got a try to his name, which is kind of a relieving thing in that sense, where he's not, scoreless at the moment. He's actually got a try, so hopefully he can try to continue his form, or start up his form again. And of course, Lockie Anderson makes up the 14 jersey. Yeah, I mean, with the last one, of course, you do the likes of George Roarth, who has done well within that 15 jersey. I mean, personally, I would have liked to see Reece Hodge, but of course, Reece Hodge is still injured for a period of time, so we won't see him for a while. But overall, I think George Roarth has done pretty well in that position. So moving on to the Chiefs, of course, they have made a few changes to the squad coming back from that defeat against the Reds. Yeah, the first New Zealand side to actually lose against the Australian side. So that was a tough one to take for the Chiefs, especially. But more or less, they've made a few changes within that front row. Of course, they have Ruben Neal coming actually within that front row in place of Aiden Ross. You do the likes of Takalaho, as well as Takalaho and Angus Tauva within that 2 and 3 jersey. So I'd say a pretty good front row there, and should bring a challenge towards the Rebels. In my opinion, I think they should win that battle, but we'll see what happens there. I mean, for the lock pairing, they have gone with the likes of Josh Lord and Tupou Valley, so I think that's a pretty good pairing there. I wouldn't say there's a lot of experience within those locks, but I think Tupou Valley is really proving to, he's really stepping up his game recently. He's got 2 tries in 2 games in his last 2 games, so hopefully he can just kind of try to continue that form. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe he gets another try in this game. Yeah, with the loose forward trio, like I was saying before, they do the likes of Peter Gustin-Makula at 6, then you have the likes of Lachlan Bashir at 7, and Luke Jacobson, of course, at 8. He was captaining the side, I believe, for the first time, so it should be interesting to see how he does within that captaincy role. Personally, I think he might actually thrive within that, but of course we'll have to wait and see. I mean, for the backs, of course, they have gone with the likes of Xavier Rowe and Bryn Gatlin as their 9-10 combination. So there's huge changes in those 2 spots, because of course you normally have Brad Weber as well as Damien McKenzie. Of course, Brad Weber's just been rested for this game, I suspect. But of course, you do the likes of Damien McKenzie, who was suspended from last week's game, so he's out. I'm just saying, for the rest of the competition. So unfortunately, he's not able to be playing for this game. But you do the likes of Bryn Gatlin, who has a lot of Super Rugby experience and can definitely. And Xavier Rowe, I was very impressed by, I'd say, within the Reds game. I thought he was probably the best player for the Chiefs when he actually came on. So hopefully, he can make more impact within this game as well. For the centre pairing, of course, they do the likes of Quinta Pea as well as Antonella Brown as that 12 and 13 combination. In my opinion, this is the combination I like the most, but you have to admit that Alex Nankerville has just been brilliant with Antonella Brown, so it's just one of those which, he did need some kind of rest, so I understand why they're putting Quinta Pea within that spot. Yeah, more or less, I mean, with the wingers, they have gone with the likes of Bryn Sullivan as well as Sean Stevenson, making up that 11-14, both of those jerseys. So it'll be interesting to see how those two go, because normally you can rely on Sean Stevenson to give you at least a 6 out of 10 performance, in my opinion. But for Bryn Sullivan, he still has a lot way to go, in my opinion. But he has steadily improved. I can definitely say that for sure. You know, he's definitely improved his kicking qualities. I can say the least for that. But other than that, I mean, his one-on-one finishing, I say can definitely improve. Other than that, I've been pretty impressed by him and what he's done so far for the Chiefs. I mean, for the last position, of course, you do the likes of Caleb Trask in that 15 jersey, and yeah, I thought he was brilliant as well within that Reds game. And yeah, hopefully he can just translate that form into this game. So yeah, that's kind of what the lineups. If I'd actually say who wins this game, I think I want to edge it towards the Chiefs, just based off last week and how they were very close in actually winning that game, you know, a very close margin. But at the same time, I have a funny feeling that the Rebels could actually do it. So it's one of those which I'm going to say the Chiefs, but I think they'll be a lot closer than what most people put it at. So I'll say the Chiefs will only win this game by 7 points. So I'll say they'll win this game, I'll say 32 points to 25. Yeah, I'll say 32 points to 25 is my final prediction for that game. But anyway, just hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.